Hi, my name is Dan Dormer, and this is my analysis of the E3 2007 Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots trailer.
This mission isn't an order from Washington. Not like the old days. And it's not something the UN can officially sanction either.
Why me?
Oh, Snake, you card, you know why you. Because you're going to do whatever Roy Campbell, who's been addressing you throughout the trailer so far, you're going to do whatever he says. He's your CO, your commanding officer. Uh, to be fair, there are a couple things we need to address here. One is that Snake obviously is being sent on a mission that isn't sanctioned by any government, so Colonel might not be the right way to refer to Roy Campbell, but I doubt Snake, being the stalwart he is, to change how he refers to someone just because it isn't a government-sanctioned op. I mean, it's not a U.S. op, it's not a UN op, it's not a French op, at least that we know of. And there are also a couple other important things to point out. Is that one is that the hair has changed color yet again. Um, I guess there is plenty of just for men hair coloring in all those cardboard boxes we find throughout the world of Metal Gear Solid, because it's gone from a dark gray to a kind of dark gray to now this very, very light, almost white, more heavy white with kind of specks of gray. Um, Also, another important thing is that the logo on his jacket, um, or is not that of Foxhound. We're going to see those later on in the trailer, but this is the one that seems to be on most of the private military corporation troops that we see throughout the rest of the trailer. Um, Not sure if that's a huge thing. It could potentially be reading too much into it. Um, he could just be a disguise. He could be undercover. Who knows? Last thing to point out here is that Snake is also using a knife, not his weapon of choice at all. Um, it's a CQC knife, and he's probably Kojima probably just altering the canon a little to make use of the CQC combat, which we got in Metal Gear Solid 3. So I don't know, no big deal in my mind. CQC rocks.
Because of the military might of the PMCs and the effect they have on the economy. War is to the 21st century what oil was to the 20th, the pillar that supports the global economy.
Here we have the girl who lists her status with Solid Snake as complicated on Facebook. It's Meryl, and she's also the niece of Colonel Roy Campbell, and now the leader of Foxhound, or at least this part of Foxhound. And she is leading a group of three men. One whose name we eventually learn in the trailer is Jonathan, who's currently holding the binoculars. Though the most important character, apparently, as we'll learn further in the trailer, is the gentleman whose head is covered and is wearing sunglasses. Looks like he might eventually play a bigger part in the game. Also mentioned by Roy Campbell are PMCs, which are private military companies, something like Blackwater, which exists today.
The global community is concerned, but they're all too afraid of the war economy collapsing to do anything about it.
Sounds pretty self-serving to me.
This still right here, though, definitely throws you for a double take if you're a fan of the series. Because until now, only two things really separated Big Boss, Naked Snake, the star of Metal Gear Solid 3, and Solid Snake, star of Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2. And that was an eye patch and a knife. And now what Kojima's done here is given both of those to Solid Snake. And yes, while he had the genes already, this really just shows, and almost say, really personifies Big Boss, yet at the same time maintains the character, the established character that we know as Solid Snake. And it's almost kind of chilling the way it's constructed.
But I, for one, don't intend to simply stand by and watch it happen.
No, I'm not pausing just to take a look at Revolver Ocelot's or Liquid Ocelot's hair now, even though it is positively dreamy. I mean, come on. What type of shampoo is he using? Now, look below his right elbow, and you will see part of a figure obscured, intentionally obscured, and does so until there's a scene later in the trailer where it's revealed this is Naomi Hunter, who is Foxhound's, or was Foxhound's, chief medical specialist in the Shadow Moses operation, and that was Metal Gear Solid 1. She was the person who injected Foxeye into Solid Snake, and, along with others, and she plays a role because of her knowledge of the nanomachines.
This isn't justice. It's a covert assignment. A hired hit. Will you do this for me? Will you terminate Liquid? Activate it.
Now, the voice we hear coming out of Liquid Ocelot's mouth is the voice actor for Revolver Ocelot, and that is Patrick Zimmerman. Though there's no Cam Clark to be heard, and he voiced Liquid Snake in the original Metal Gear Solid, and also had reprised the role in Metal Gear Solid 2. That's because Liquid Snake will actually speak through the body of Revolver Ocelot, which is why he's referred to as Liquid Ocelot. Cam Clark hasn't been confirmed for the role yet. I mean, this is definitely serves as the confirmation from Patrick Zimmerman. No word yet on whether or not Liquid has been signed, but it is a definite possibility, given that sporadically he will take over the body.
Liquid's goal is to seize control of SOP.
Alright, time to play Guess That Acronym. SOP would normally stand for Standard Operating Procedure. However, I don't think the context here leads me to believe that that's not exactly what they're talking about. I believe it's a brand new acronym invented for MGS4, but could be wrong.
To do that, he needs to analyze the nanomachine structure and find out how they communicate with one another. The nanomachines currently in use by militaries and PMCs are third generation. But their design is derived from that of the first generation.
First generation?
A nanomachine colony, part of which was Foxdie. 9 years ago, at Shadow Moses, I injected it into your body, Snake.
To parse down what Naomi's saying, basically, if you were to talk about it in terms of cell phone technology, the PMCs and military troops, they're the iPhone of nanotechnology, in that they have those in them. And Snake, he has like an old busted Nokia that can play Snake. And this scene definitely establishes and shows us that Liquid Ocelot does eventually figure out how the nanomachines talk to one another, and does establish a form of control over them. However, we're not really sure when this actually happens in the game, but I would imagine it probably has to be pretty early on. Now, while everyone is starting to piss their pants or shit their pants or vomit or foam at the mouth or start punching and hitting each other, as we see, this effect is not just constrained to one, PMC. It's PMC, military, anyone with these nanomachines in them, which leads us to the fourth member of that Foxhound unit. We see Meryl, we see Jonathan, and we see the other guy, and we see Mr. Sunglasses, just standing there watching, like he's at a show. Now this is our first real glimpse of Mr. Not Affected by the Nanomachines, and it's definitely caused a little controversy. There's definitely people who think that the white hair coming through the front and back definitely 100% confirm that this is Raiden. The voice doesn't match at all. People are saying that, oh, well, that's before he's, a cyborg, whatever. I would have to say it's a completely different character based on the voice alone. And just because Kojima leaves things like this in the trailers to kind of keep you guessing, and it's just more plausible that it's a brand new character. It really is. And young Snake, no way. Not a chance.
The system makes it possible to integrate not only micro-level information on individual soldiers and units, but also macro-level information about field conditions and order of battle.
So they finally achieved total real-time battlefield control.
He's taken command of this immense army and is now preparing to unleash an insurrection.
As you can see, Snake is definitely being affected, but not to the extent that the PMC or military soldiers are. Fortunately, that's all the time we have for the first half. Be sure to check out the second half of my trailer analysis.